Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In the late 2000s and 2010s, the rapper The Game was a major West Coast rap artist. With him gaining success, his brother known as Big Face would be a consistent figure behind the scenes. If you seen The Game, you seen Big Face, and they both founded the record label Black Wall Street. But things would later cause a major split and fallout between the brothers, which rap songs dissing each other would later come out.
He said rap or die and took it to the top. 2005 MVP of hip hop. Then all of a sudden things changed. Shit got real strange, real Hollywood business. You know the game.
If you wanted me gone, you could've let it be known, Jay. It's funny how shit end up way the wrong way. Sitting trying to figure out the wrong turn I made. Drop my quarters in the game, but I got played.
Hey, yo, that's my brother, man. That's the nigga behind the whole fucking operation, man. Big Face Hunter, man. He definitely kept me alive for this long, man, and showed me the game. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably be in a coffin somewhere, man.
Big Face and Game's relationship would seem unfixable during that time period. Both The Game and Big Face claimed Cedar Block, Piru, and Compton. Another member from that hood would be Rodney Johnson, also known as Whiteboy or Big White. Big White by this time of Game and Big Face fallout by 06 and 07, Whiteboy was an OG, and you even seen him in videos with The Game on songs like Let's Ride. But later, he would appear in a video that would go super viral in that era. Big Face was having problems with The Game, and he would invite an enemy of The Game to Cedar Block Piru's turf to shoot a video. The Game was once a part of G-Unit. With him leaving on a bad note, he gained a few new rivals. And Spider-Loc was a newly affiliated LA artist of G-Unit, and he took the beef with Game serious. Him linking with Big Face was a backstabbing team-up for Big Face. Spider-Loc would attempt to shoot a video shoot on Brazil and Wilmington, which was in the Cedar Block Piru's hood. But things at the video shoot would go bad. Whiteboy appeared at the video shoot, and that led to Whiteboy checking Big Face for bringing Spider-Loc and Crips to their neighborhood. He did that with his fist by knocking out Big Face. A video was captured, and Big Face Hunted got put on his back by Whiteboy. The footage made it to YouTube, starting an uproar in the rap world, with Whiteboy and Big Face both putting out video statements about each other, and also many questioning Face Street credibility after being knocked out. Whiteboy would begin to troll and tell his side of the story. At this time, he was going viral.
The big homie from Compton, you know, and the other day I happened to see some Crips that wasn't supposed to be in my neighborhood shooting a video, you know? And I had let motherfuckers know ahead of time that couldn't go down like that, you know what I'm saying? As being a real motherfucking reputable Piru, you know? So the motherfuckers was there, and it had to go like it had to go, you know? So the DVD will be there to show you how it went on the next episode. Black out like, bam! Little old blood.
Big Face would respond in his own video.
Whiteboy is an SPV, and the SPV is a smoked out parole violator. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a motherfucking SPV is, and that's what the fuck you are, old blood.
Little old blood.
You know, we was always good, but lately he just been on this whole, this game shit, you know what I mean? Basically all in the video, eating strawberries at the motherfucking video shoot, little chandeliers here and there. Niggas, niggas is rent a thug.
Black out like, bam!
So White, here we go again. What's up with the situation?
To set the record straight, I think Big Face minus 1-0-0 need to man up in order to set the record straight and start being a man of his own camp and stop letting all those other guys he got over there infiltrate his camp.
Spider-Loc and several others would respond to the incident.
Nothing to me, like, you feel me? I back out. The nigga choked me on the way down with me, so he telling me face on his back. I ain't even know there's no problem. I'm like, damn, cuz. I'm just knowing nigga finna chirp me and tell me, ooh, now this happened. But that chirp never came. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just here. I'm a part of an organization called Industries. And for a long time, we've been bringing you the rawest hip-hop news we can, especially when it's generated on the West Coast. And somehow somebody on my staff happened to acquire this footage. Actually, come to find out, the actual cameraman was on my staff, and he had the footage.
So you can't just let a nigga steal you and then bounce up quick and then not do nothing? I mean, I don't know. See, I wasn't raised like that.
I'd have killed that nigga.
I ain't never claimed to be the hardest blood. He was almost like saying, I'm a pussy. You know, I can't fight, white boy. That's a big motherfucker. See, that's where he fucked up at. That's where he fucked up at. If he just would have said, white boy got a cool one and left it at that, that would have been cool. But don't explain this shit.
You wrap it up and ball out after you
like a motherfucker. White boy be running down the street taking his shirt off and face being the cause of all. But it's sad, it's on tape, it's part of history.
Big White would go under the radar for years, staying out the spotlight, but he remained in the streets and around his neighborhood as well. And over a decade later, that would lead to his demise. On March 30th, 2017, a 48-year-old black man was shot and killed in the 400 block of North Wilmington Avenue in Compton, according to the Los Angeles County Coroner's records, and it was Whiteboy. Allegedly, by reports, he had been living in his van in the residential area of Compton where he died. Los Angeles County Sheriff say Whiteboy had been talking with a friend at West Brazil Street and North Wilmington Avenue in the Cedar block's turf. At 7:49 p.m., as he was returning from a visit, a man ran up and shot him several times, police said. Deputies found him lying in the street with multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene at 8 p.m. The shooter was described as only a black man who was last seen running away. Police said there was no conversation between the gunman and Whiteboy. Investigators said they don't have a motive for the shooting.
I'm Susie Sutt. Tonight, family and friends gathered to remember a man who was a son, a father, and a grandfather. He was shot and killed last night in Compton.
Detectives at the Sheriff's Department don't have any solid leads so far, and tonight, the victim's family says that he was gunned down while trying to plead for peace. His father was a hardworking man who took care of his 6 children and 3 grandchildren. This picture of him falling asleep with his shoes off with one of the kids in his arms is how his mother wants to remember him.
I'm going through a grief, you know, and I'm in a lot of pain.
A candlelight vigil was held at the corner of North Wilmington Avenue and Brazil Street in Compton Friday evening. This is where 48-year-old Rodney Johnson was shot and killed one night earlier. Relatives say Johnson went to a home nearby after his son got into an altercation with another boy earlier in the day. Johnson's family says he and his son went over to make amends with the other family. They thought the beef was squashed as they walked back to their car. But relatives say someone ran up and shot Johnson several times in the back. The shooter ran down Brazil Street before anyone could get a good look at him. Johnson's son had to watch his father die on the street.
Over a decade later, the streets would take the life of Whiteboy, with him still being active and around his area. This is what probably led to his demise. He was 48 years old. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to hype, like, comment, and subscribe for more.